There are so many useful features hiding in Excel's right-click menus. In this video, we're going to take a look at some tips that will not only save you time, but also impress your coworkers. So let's get to it. First one, I have some data here, and I want to copy and paste values only. Now, there are a lot of ways to do this in Excel, but one that a lot of users don't know about is if I hover my mouse over the border here until the cursor turns to that cross mark. I'm going to right-click and hold, and then drag over to the right, and when I release the right mouse button, you can see we have some options here. One is copy here as values only. Click that, and that will just paste the values. So this can be a little bit quicker than doing the copy and paste operation separately. Here I have some data, and I want to apply a filter for this product only. Now, I can hit the filter drop-down menu here, click Unselect All, and then go find that item in the list or even search for it. But a faster way is to just right-click on the cell that contains the value you want to filter by, go to Filter, and then Filter by Selected Cell's Value. That will instantly apply the filter in just one action. You can also right-click here, Filter, and then clear the filter as well. And one little tip here, if your keyboard has a menu key, you can press menu key, and then the underlined letter here for filter is E, and this underlined letter is V. So, menu key EV will also apply that filter, and menu key E, and then E again will clear the filter. When doing data entry, you can right-click a cell here, and then go to Pick from drop-down list. And this is going to show a list of all of the unique values in the column above. So, it's a quick way to do data entry. Just select the item you want. The keyboard shortcut here is Alt-down arrow. Hold Alt and press down arrow, and then you can use the arrow keys and hit Enter, and that will input the value. That will not only save time, but also prevent errors when doing data entry. When you right-click on a sheet tab and go to Insert, this shows a list of templates that you can choose from to insert into the current workbook. But you can also customize this. So here I have my Chart of Accounts workbook. I'm going to hit OK, and that's going to add two sheets into this workbook, my Chart of Accounts and my Product Mapping. These are both tables that I use often. And this saves time from having to open a different workbook and copy and paste the tables in. To set this up, we're going to use an Excel template. So here I have the workbook that just contains the two sheets that I want to create the template for. The first thing I need to do is find the Excel Start folder. Now, there's a few ways to do this. One way is to go to File, Options, then we're going to go to Trust Center. Trust Center Settings, Trusted Locations, and we want to find the User Startup. Here's our Excel Star folder and the folder path. Here we can click Modify and just copy all of this text. Select all the text and copy it and hit Ctrl-C, then we'll cancel out of these menus, and then we're going to do File Save As. I'm going to hit F12 on the keyboard to do that, or you can go File Save As. First step is to save this as an Excel template file type. That's the XLTX. So we'll switch that. And then we want to go up here, and we're going to paste in the Excel Start path and hit Enter. And you can see I already have mine here, so we'll just change the name of this one. We'll call it number 2 there. Hit Save. And now when we go into any workbook, I'm going to hit Control, and to open a new workbook, right-click. Insert. You can see that we have our Chart of Accounts 2 here. Just click that, hit OK, and now we'll add both of those sheets into this workbook. And again, that can save time and also ensure that you're copying in the right version of your tables. Another handy feature in the right-click menu is Search. And that's because this search doesn't just search this right-click menu here, it actually searches all the menus in the ribbon. So, for example, if we want to remove duplicates, I'll just click in here and start typing duplicates. You can see we have the Remove Duplicates feature here from the Data tab of the ribbon. We also have duplicate values from conditional formatting, which is on the Home tab. But if you can't remember which tabs these different buttons are on, you can just search right here. I'll click Remove Duplicates. We'll hit OK to actually perform that and hit OK. The search is also available up here at the top, and the keyboard shortcut is Alt-Q. To delete the contents of cells, you could select the cells and then hit the delete key on the keyboard. But if you're on a laptop that doesn't have a delete key, or you have to hold the function key in combination with the delete key, another trick here is you could just right-click and choose Clear Contents, and that's the same as hitting delete key. That will delete all the contents of the cells. Here's a trick when working with shapes. I'm first going to insert a curved line. So under illustration shapes here, we're going to insert a curved line. I'm just going to draw a line, and I'm going to make this the midpoint. Then I'm going to double-click here to finish the line. I'll also go up to Shape Outline. I'm just going to add an arrow to the end of it. So now I have this nice curved line that's pointing to these two items. But if I want to change the curve of this line, I can right-click here and choose Edit Point. Now let's go to show these points here, and I can grab these points with the mouse and then move them to edit the curve of the line. I can also grab these handles to change the contour here. You can also right-click anywhere and add an additional point if I really want to change the curve here. Maybe I also want to add a point up here and then delete this middle point. You can do whatever you want to make some really customized shapes in Excel. The tip I showed at the beginning to copy cells also works with shapes. I'm going to right-click and hold this shape and then drag it over to the right. When I release the right mouse button, that's going to allow me to copy the shape. You can also keep the shape in line. So right-click and hold down the Shift key, and this will keep the shape in line with the original sheet, either horizontally or vertically. Again, release the right mouse button and choose Copy here. This shortcut also works by holding the Control key, so you can left-click, hold the Control key, and drag the shape. And hold Control and Shift to keep it in line. When working with pivot tables, it's very easy to accidentally close the pivot table's field list by clicking this button, or sometimes you might do that on purpose to free up space on the grid. To bring it back, you can simply right-click anywhere on the pivot table and choose Show Field List, and this is a toggle, so right-clicking again. You can choose Hide Field List if you want to hide it. When you're working in a workbook that contains a lot of sheets, one easy navigation trick is just right-click right here where these two arrows are. That'll bring up a list of all of the sheets in the workbook. And it's much easier to scan these vertically than it is to navigate horizontally across the workbook. And when you find a sheet you're looking for, you could just double-click it, and that'll jump you right to that sheet. When working with really large sheets, you can right-click in the scroll area over here to see some nice options. If you want to scroll to the top, you could just click that. You can also do this horizontally if you want to scroll to the left edge. And there's some other nice features here, including page up and page down. If your keyboard doesn't have those keys, of course, most of these commands can be accessed with keyboard shortcuts. So, I hope you learned something new in this video. Leave a comment below and let us know which tip you'll be using the most. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.